What's going on, y'all? Can turn this light off. Okay, hey everybody. Welcome back to Photography Mistakes Live. Okay, in place, the audience, crowd, sound right here, right? For example, um, today is a little different because I'm really doing a reintroduction of myself into these lives, and we're gonna go from here into obviously trying to get back into doing everything again starting next week, every week. So right now, my time frame has actually changed from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. A lot of you probably like, why are you on 9 o'clock? It just makes sense for my environment, circumstance, and otherwise. So this way, I'm not doing something because the time frame isn't working. I just pivot. I have been used to pivoting all these years, and I have no issues doing it now. Okay, so with that being stated, we are here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Thursday. I am doing a live tonight. As you can see, the purpose of this live from the title is preparing for my shoot that I have this weekend. So it's not just a regular shoot. It's not just your average photo shoot or video shoot. I am going to be filming a pole showcase. Okay, meaning there will be pole dancers there that will be performing, and I will be the videographer on set. Okay, the beauty of this particular showcase, though, it is themed teen tune, not team, tune takeover is a theme for this weekend showcase. And I'm excited because I love that people can get dressed up. So we're gonna be excited to see who is actually gonna be a part of the show. That's gonna be a very fun part for me because putting the flyer together was already enticing just because of the fact that we had the people's regular pictures, like the actual pictures, and then I went ahead and created the cartoon pictures of their picture of their representation on that flyer. So it was like you got the regular flyer and the cartoon flyer. That was cool for me. So I was excited about that. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. So, but before I do that, I do want to touch on a particular topic because I have been asked about this before. So, what my goal is right now is to show you guys how I go about lighting my start over again. I'm going to show you guys how I go about lighting my sets for post showcases. Every set is different because depending on if the client has a particular light color that they may want to use, um, if there's a particular scheme that is requested, I will definitely make sure I adhere to that. But for the most part, I will try to be as make sure that the lighting is complementary, right? So meaning that if I have if I have a blue light somewhere, I may want to have something a little, maybe a little brighter next to it. I'm trying not to make sure that there's dark on dark or light on light. I kind of want to make sure there's one dark and one light. So whatever it is for you, just something to consider when it comes to you lighting your spaces, especially when it comes to post studios. I know when it comes to lighting post studios, you do want to have a certain type of vibe that is placed. So this would be an idea of how you can do that for yourself. All right. So I'm going to show you guys what I normally use, but I will also, and I when I edit this video, I'm going to show you guys what other things you can use. So we're going to go into that, and then I'm going to set them up so you guys can see what they look like, and then I'm going to show you guys how you can work with it. Right. So first and foremost, I'm not your average videographer, meaning I don't always have what everybody else has. The things that I would normally probably, I think I would just tag in this video. Usually, they may have your videographers. They may have like a video light that is an LED colored light, but it also has the barn doors on it. Okay, barn doors are literally going to be your black doors that can open all the way and close all the way if you need it to. That way, you can kind of shape the light and make it point a certain direction or open it up to where it's lighting up the whole room. Okay, my lights do not have that. Okay, but I've been able to make it work either way it goes. This goes to show you that you again do not need to have the most expensive lighting. And again, these aren't even the most expensive. The ones that I have are just the ones that I was able to afford at the time, and I just never upgraded. Okay, so I have floodlights. Okay, That's really what we're going off with. I currently have floodlights. I'm gonna show you what those look like. So if I were to open up this bag, here are 2 floodlights that I have. Okay. Now, keep in mind when I purchased these, they don't automatically come with a stand. As you can see, they don't have the barn doors. The barn doors would literally be like this. They open up like literally barn doors. I don't have that. So this is gonna be opened up. And then but what I can't control is where to make it face. So I can make it face the wall if it's too bright, or I can make it face from a top down situation if it's like I got some space, I'm further out and I need it to be kind of like facing towards the middle. Or I can make it just put it on the floor and make it facing toward up. I actually have had shoots with all those different aspects. Okay. So we're gonna kind of replicate what I've done in the past that is the most successful. And again, you guys can adjust as you see fit. Don't feel like whatever I do, you have to do. At the end of the day, this is gonna be what you want it to look like. So if you set your lights up and you're like, I don't like it, let me go ahead and switch this thing out, and you want to turn it to the side or turn it to the audience, you can definitely do that. Just make sure it's not shining in front of somebody's face, because that alone, will, of course, will be a no go. I'll say it would be a no go because nobody wants the light shining in their face. So you want to be mindful of that. So we're gonna set this up, meaning that once I get these set up, I'm gonna turn off that light in the back, and that way you can see just these lights. Because ideally, in a pole studio or any kind of venue, if you're lighting it for a pole show, you're not gonna need your ambient light. You're gonna be creating the light. As a videographer who knows what they're doing, you are bringing your own light. So let's get set up, and I'll walk you through those steps. So we're gonna start off with one light. Here's the first light, and then I'm going to grab a light stand. Again, if you decide that you want to buy the ones that already have the barn doors on Amazon, please by all means do that. I believe those come with stands. You don't have to do it my way, but if you're like strapped for cash and you're just starting out and you want to get those, but you're not sure if you want to do that right now, you can start off with these. So I already had these light stands from when I was really starting off photography. So this will be here. I'll probably put it right here on the side because it's close to my extension cord or close to my plug, my outlet on that side. All right, and then I'm gonna probably do the same thing with this other one. So I got this other stand. When I first started doing photo shoots, specifically photo shoots, when I first started doing them, I had bought an ass of light stands. It just was something you need to have. I believe any photographer and videographer needs a light stand. Okay, so this is this right here. It's already set up. The legs are open. I pretty much opened it up, so it was like here. Then I open it up because you'll see this right here as well. So I just closed that and secured it. And then these is how you know you got a light stand, because they'll look like this. Okay. So once they look like this, then you can put them to the side where you want them to be placed. So in this case, I'm gonna put it right here. For the most part, as level as I can to the other one. Now, if you're like you got a big space and you want to have maybe one in the front, then one towards the back, then you can do that. Okay. So now I'm going to grab, because I need them to be connected. I'm going to show you guys what I normally do to connect these floodlights to my stands. You did see the front part of the stands, right? The top part, the very top part. So with that being stated, I'm going to grab, where'd I put it? There it is. So again, this is a little more extra than you need, but I like to be extra prepared. So I went ahead and bought a bunch of lug nuts. Okay, so when I say a bunch of lug nuts, I had bought a bunch of them, but these are the ones that I stuck with. Okay, I'm gonna bring it out so you guys can see. I ended up finding a container. These do not come in this container, by the way. This is my container. So that's a lug nut. Okay, And I got one that can fit on the top, or I got like a whole case, because I'm also at home, so I like to be able to fix things. I like to repair things. I'm a builder for sure. I like to be able to build things and put things together. So because of that, I am going to have lug nuts. Okay, as you can see, that's a lug nut. All right. So what I'll do is, because I've already tested this out, if I put it on top of that stand, it's actually going to fit, and I can twist it, and it can secure whatever I want to be on there. So I'm going to secure my light on there. I'm going to bring it close so you guys can see. So here's the stand. Okay. Maybe I should bring this out a little bit more. Not too much. All right. Bring it out. So there's a stand. And then here's my floodlight. But then here's the hole I'm going to put right here. So I'm going to place this right here, right on top. All right. And then I'm also, so you guys can see better, right there, you see that? I am also going to place this lug nut right on top of that. And then I'm going to twist. You don't want it to be too loose, and you don't want it to be too tight or too small, because if it's too small, it ain't gonna fit. So right now it's on there. And the reason why I know it's on there, because this is not moving. It's not falling off. All right. Now you definitely want to be careful with this, because it's also not the most, I'll say, secure when it comes to, if I move it to one area, it can stay for now, but once I attach the extension cord, it's gonna move on its own. Again, this is the limited resources person that decides to be able to still have a setup like this. You can buy your own equipment that has the barn doors, that has the light stand that's already attached to the light stand. You can do that. Okay, it's actually not as expensive nowadays, and I'm probably gonna be one of the people that's gonna buy one of them in the future. But right now, this is doing okay. Okay, so now we're gonna bring this over, and I'm going to connect the second light. So we're going to do like this. Where's the other one? Oh, that's not it. All right. So here's the other one. You got everything? Okay. So here's the other one. So now I'm going to bring the other light stand over. And we're going to repeat the process. So we'll bring this here. And that's only for you guys can see, as you already can tell. I'm going to open my container. Get my other lug nut. See that? And it's an octagon type lug nut. Right? Then, same thing we did before. Place this on top. Place this hole right here over this right here. Just like that. And I'm going to tilt this over just so I can have a better view. Okay. And then now, place that on top. Twist it until it's all the way down. Once you can't twist it no more and it's staying on there, you're good to go. Then I'll drop it. Okay. Then we'll move this over. We'll put this right here like this. Okay. Now, as you can see, currently, I have them kind of facing each other. All right. But they're not even plugged in yet. So we're going to plug them in real quick. I'm probably going to use my other light. Not other light. All right. I have an extension cord here. And I know I have another one that's in my bag. Let's see. Let's try to see if it's in here. Actually, I believe I have one on this lamp. So anywhere you can. Okay. Turn that over. So anywhere you can, go ahead and plug it into whatever outlet is available. As you can see, it starts going off, so I gotta set it. Okay, so I believe I have a a thing in here, a remote in here. Here's my remote. Nah, looks like I'm going through something. Here's my remote. So that remote ain't working? Okay. It's on now. Now it's on fade. Hold on. So when these remotes, you gotta make sure, of course, you got the battery is in there. Let me double check. That's still not doing it. I think I got another remote here though. All right. Luckily, I do have multiple remotes. I'm gonna stop by the store and grab some more. Get the remote. One of them. I'm gonna go by the store and stop by to grab some more lights. As you can see, that one by itself is lighting this whole room. Keep in mind, this room is not that big. So if I had maybe a one on in the back and one to the front or whatever, however you decide to call it, then this wouldn't be that big of a difference. So because they are like facing each other and this one's already towards the back, that's why it kind of gives that look. But we can play around with it, which is what we're gonna do while we're here. So bear with me. I'm gonna plug the other one in and we're gonna test it. So maybe turn you over here. And they might give that look. Let's see. Turn that over. I guess I gotta turn it that way anyway. Okay. And then I'm gonna plug this one in. Let me find that other cord that I was talking about. So I found an extension cord. Say like I didn't know I had it. I have an extension cord. So I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in here. Actually, let's do. Sometimes these where you plug it in makes a difference because it determines on if you've used that shit a lot. Look, I just need it to be in one. I don't even need all this extra. All right, so that one's about as close as it's gonna get. So then with this one, make that blue. Now, mind you, as you can see, both of them are blue. Okay, so that's not what we want. I need them to be one over the other. I need one to be one color, one to be the other color. At least for right now. Okay. So what I could possibly do. All right, so you see that? So I had to kind of like turn them away from each other. So now, as you can see, we have the blend that we are probably going for, but not really. Okay. And then what I could do is just make them both face towards the middle, but still not be necessarily in the middle. So that's one way of how you can light your studio. Okay. Keep in mind, I am not against, and I probably should say this in the beginning, I am not against people that have the LED strips. I have LED strips. Okay. I have strips right now that are in my bedroom. Okay. I also have tubes that are in my office, my section where I actually do my work. But when it comes to lighting a full studio, you will need something more. Now, some people they actually have LED strips and other LED light bulbs that are like attached throughout the studio, so that also can work. As long as it gives you the most luminous effect that you're looking for, because you don't want to just have something that is only sometimey, because you don't want it to be where it's dim. Even though yes, iPhone can really do really great when it comes to adjusting, but say for example, you have a DSLR camera like myself, and you have no main light, no key light. So all they're going off of is the person when they're in the lighting. For the most part, they'll be dark. Unless, of course, this light is pointed at me. But then even that, I'm not going to be shown in a way of as oh, this is going to be lit where I'm going to be like the focus. I'll be blended in into the background. right? So I would have to find a way as the videographer to make sure that I have light facing me and only me. Now, yes, let's be for real. When you're doing a pole showcase, any kind of showcase where it involves having many dancers, you cannot predict where that dancer is going to move. Okay, so this is where you understanding how to create, how to set up your lights. So, with that being stated, I'm going to move one of my lights over towards this front area and work that way. I have something versus them all being back in the back, just in case I may not have my key light, which is that. So that way my performer can be caught in the lighting at all times. And you may want to change up the color of your light just to make sure that it matches and it catches them in a very flattering way. Okay. Because you got to remember, iPhone and DSLR cameras or even mirrorless cameras capture light differently. Okay. The iPhone is going to adjust automatically. The mirrorless cameras and the DSLR cameras, you have the owner of that camera has to adjust it accordingly to give it the effect that it wants to give. Okay, so let's move this one and then we're gonna go from there. So now it's only blue in the back. And then I move this one right here behind my camera. This place is over here. And now the other color is coming in that way. So if I decide, let's just stick with the red like we've been doing. And now I have that. And that's still not bad. Because if I were to turn off this key light, at least my performer is still in the shot. Okay. Now, if you're using a DSLR camera, for example, my camera, let's just talk about my camera. My camera is a T7. If I'm using mine, I may more than likely crank up my ISO and I'm probably going to lower my shutter speed to give me more light. Okay. Whereas somebody else with a more advanced camera with a more expensive camera may be able to not have to do as much, but if they do, it's not going to show as much when it comes to the viewing of the video itself. So some people, and a lot of us, when you crank up the ISO, you are definitely chancing that the ISO is also going to introduce grain into your video, meaning you may have a little bit of a fuzziness to your video, right? Um, even when it comes to the shutter speed, if it's too low, it'll give you more light, but then you might see more blurriness when it comes to motion. Okay, and it's not a bad thing. It's just some things that you have to accept as a videographer when it comes to being able to film, and other things you may have to figure out. Hey, do I need to adjust this? Do I? Because it's very rare, or actually not rare. You can adjust it in post, but you got to be careful with how you do that in post because you don't want to take away from the original quality. That's really what it comes down to. If you're anything that you adjust in post as a videographer, you want to make sure that it's not taken away from the original quality. You're gonna decompress it. You're gonna compress it either way it goes, just because of the fact that you're editing using the software, it's gonna come down a little bit, and then when you post it to social media, it's gonna come down even more. They're probably gonna keep getting ate up at little by little every time you use it and render it and export it and post it. It's going to be ate up at regardless. So it's depending on how many times you're going to do that in post, and then of course going into the final product. Now, if you're cool with this look and you're like, I just want the background to have one color, this is cool, I can deal with this, then boom, you're good to go. If you're like, no, I still need a key light, there's your key light. You can still have that. And all that's doing right now is the red is giving me an accent color. So it's not fully, completely covering me. And the blue is still doing what it needs to do in the background. So you still have the flexibility. So this is also say that when you are setting up whatever area that you may have, don't feel as if you have to stick with it at the beginning. Don't change it in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you have absolutely have to. But at the beginning, this is why it's great for videographers or even post studios owners, or even post studio owners to try to do this at least an hour before the showcase. You test these things out. So if you're looking at it and you got the camera that you plan on using to film, you're testing it out. You're looking at the color. And you're like, okay, I like how this looks. Maybe I should move this over. You do all that before you really get into filming. Then once you get into filming, you already know where you're going to be at. You already know how it's going to look. You're happy with it, and you can move forward. Okay, so this is one of the things that I have had to learn over time. On top of me learning my settings for my camera, having to learn lighting, and not just regular lighting. This would be your regular lighting, right? So if I were to decide to turn this off and turn that off, this is the regular lighting. Okay. Now, if I say, you know what, I need some color lighting is a thing completely different. Completely different. Because now you have to make sure that they complement each other. You don't want them to be clashing, and that could be a variety of ways, right? So I say this is clashing. It's not bad, but as you can see, it's not red, right? But it does give me a better complement than the red. So if I change this and turn this off, you can still see me. You can still see I'm wearing white. You know what I mean? The colors show up a little differently. Same thing if I decide to change the background color and make this maybe yellow. You know, now they're both yellow. I think they're both yellow. I can't tell. I think they're both. Okay, so that one's green, that one's yellow. Again, is this the color that I want? Do I like the way this looks? You know, so if I do a test shot, is it gonna be something that I can mess with for the rest of the shoot? There's gonna be a lot of those questions you need to ask. Do I need to add a key light? Right? Is the key light bright enough? Does it complement me? A lot of those things are gonna be of importance to you. So take these into consideration. Okay. So now that we went through the whole studio lighting concepts, now I'm gonna pack my bag. All right. So keep in mind, I still need to charge a few of my items. So I know I'm taking a gimbal with me. Um, I think I'll leave these lights on, but I think I might make them white. Yeah, I don't even need both of these, but I like them both. We'll leave them both on. So I know for a fact I'm taking my gimbal. I'm taking my I'm taking a soft box because I don't know if I'm gonna need it. I haven't ever been to the studio space before, but I am bringing these light stands that I just set up with you. So those are gonna be packed up as well. I'm putting a lot of my packaging inside this duffel bag right here. Some things are gonna be on their own. Like my soft box is gonna be on its own. I'm not bringing this light because it's not that big for an event wise. As you can see, it's really just for talking heads. That's the size of that. Okay, so I'm probably not taking that one, but I do have. If I decide to, I could bring this. This is another soft box. This is a big circular soft box I may take with me. So that's something else that is a consideration. And then we can go from there. Right. So I will. You guys missing some light, some intensity on this light. So I am going to start packing up my bag so you guys can see what that looks like. And did this light? Oh, I turned it off. Okay. So you guys can see what that looks like. And then just make sure I have everything I need to go with in the morning. Because it's gonna be one of those days, right? So I may not. I had a shoot recently where I had a lot of things and I didn't need everything there. So I'm gonna try my best also to not have to carry everything. But I know me, I need stuff, so I'm gonna make it happen. Um. Okay. So first and foremost, I guess I should bring y'all closer, huh? Can you guys see that? Barely. Maybe I should move you this way. And then I'll probably drop you down some. Come on, say. You lock it in. There you go. Lock it in. All right. So there's a duffel bag. Okay. Um, I thought I was gonna use these extension cords. I didn't. So this one is actually coming with me. As you can see, I have this base right here. That way if I need to plug more than one cord in there, I can. That is separate. And then I'll just put the actual extension cord. I can't recall how long this is. But I try to have these tied up in a really compact way as much as possible. So there's that. I'm also going to put this in here. That's going to be on one of these sides. I have 3 extension cords. I actually think I have more than that. I had a client buy this for me because I was actually getting ready to film their showcase. So I was like, "Can you grab me some extension cords?" And they bought some. So this worked out very well. I think I'm gonna leave this here. I always leave one at home. All right. So this one is usually automatically in my bag. So that's the second one. I'm gonna put this in here as well. Obviously, like I said, this hasn't been put in here yet, so I am putting it in here now. And that's usually done for this part, at least for this particular pocket. The next pocket, and I might be able to just do that now while I'm talking to you, so I don't have to worry about it later. The second pocket is usually where I put my floodlights. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn those off and then pack them in. Okay. So there's that. All right. So you already saw me put these together. So as you guys already know, I had grabbed my remote from my camera bag, and I had, of course, this. This is my secondary extension cord. This is like the extension cord that I grab when I forget any extension cord, but I never forget any extension cord. So I always keep it in this gimbal bag anyway. So this is this bag right here. I call it the gimbal bag because, for the obvious, my gimbal is in it. Okay. So this is the one I know I definitely need to charge. Then my light is just happening to be on. This is gonna be the main thing I'm gonna charge because I know I need to bring it with me. So I'm gonna put that on charge real quick. All right. That gimbal is on charge. The other one I'm probably not gonna charge, but it's been charged. I haven't been using it as much lately, which is fine. And everything else that I may need, I probably won't. Not from this bag at least. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and unplug this cord. Put everything back how I got it. And I'm gonna unscrew these. Oh damn, where did I put it? Okay. Unscrew these and put them in my container, which I believe is over here. Okay, so that'll be these right here. Again, this did not come with it. I just decided to put them together. So that's one. This is two. Okay, close that up. That way I know where it's at all times. Put that in my bag. And then I just make sure that my camera bag has everything that it needs. Even though I'm gonna probably charge my batteries from there as well. So here we are, the floodlights. I wrap those up and I put them in here. Same thing with this one. Wrap that up. And they're usually pretty good to go. Like I don't have to really do a whole lot when it comes to that. So then I just close this up. My remote though. Where did I put it? I think I left it over here, didn't I? I think I put it over here by the camera. Yeah, I did. So I usually try to, at least for me, I usually try to put this remote in my camera bag. That way I have something that's closest to me. Because this bag I might keep, the duffel bag might keep close to me, but the camera bag is always gonna be on my hip for the most part. You know, because I got a camera in there. So once I take the camera out, I know, okay, cool, this is in there too. So that's just for me. But I'm probably gonna buy more batteries just to make sure that I am prepared. So then now that this is good, go ahead and lock this in. Then I open up my duffel bag. Then I put in my first soft box. Like so. All right. And then I normally put my camera in there. I'm trying to think and make sure I have everything. So let me go ahead and pack these up. These won't fit in my duffel bag, but I also want to make sure I have them packed up. Because I have a bag specifically for my light stands. So that's secured. And then you got this one. Open that up, drop it down. And if I use more than two, the other two will actually they'll have their own stands. So there's also that. So I'll grab this one. I'll grab these two. Those two are definitely coming with me. And I'll put these in this bag. Then here is one of the duffel bags, or one of the soft boxes that I'll have that has its own stand already attached and its own light bulb. So I don't have to worry about that. So put this one here. Drop that in. Put this other one in here. What if like I'm missing a light stand? It might be the one that's already up there. I think that's the one I have attached to my talking head softbox. Which in this case is gonna have to be fine. But I think I may want to take it off too. So I'm gonna take it off just in case I need it for tomorrow. Now with that being stated, well, I'm about to go grab that. There is an S bracket that I want to make sure that I have on hand because I did just buy one. But where did I put it? Because it was one that's in the Godox. Godox. Honestly, I may have to grab the one out of Godox. I ended up grabbing my flashlight. I don't think I'm gonna need to use this. Because it's not that particular set for it or show for it. So I'm gonna grab the one out of my Godox and I'm gonna use it. But I'm also gonna talk about these light bulbs. So I have two light bulbs. I'm actually going to only need one. And the reason why is because I got the other one on my talking head, and the other one that I normally would have, the other light bulb at, is actually going to be the first soft box. So this is the light bulb that I'm going to bring. This was actually remote controlled. So I'll make sure I bring my remote. It should be this right here. Okay. And then, of course, I'll be able to turn that off or turn it on. And that controlled the other talking headlight that I had up there. So let me go ahead and that's going to be packed as well. So in the meantime, let me go ahead and unhook. Oh, that's where it is. So there's an S bracket on my talking head softbox, and there's an S bracket in my actual Godox bag. I really just need one. This is the S bracket. This one you can connect your speed lights into. You can actually connect these lights that I have, the remote control light. I can connect those into as well. and I'll show you what I mean. But that's the one I'm bringing. And that'll be for my other softbox that doesn't have its own light stand, but I can attach it to one. So I'm gonna show you guys real quick, like. Okay, I brought a couple things. I brought the talking head light, and I brought my laptop bag because I'm bringing my laptop. So I'll have that there. This is the talking head light stand. This is what I mean. So this is my S bracket, and this is the light socket that I had that's locked in on this through the S bracket, obviously, but to connect to that light bulb that I have in there, that is the remote control light bulb. So since I don't really need this part, but I do need the bar, I'm gonna take that off. So I'm gonna unhook that. So I'm gonna drop that down. Then I want to hook it through here, and that can stay home as is, and then I can take this with me because I'm not gonna use this. Okay. So this way I have 3 light stands in case I decide to do a 4 light setup, which I do not think I'll do, but you never know. When it comes to certain spaces, it might be bigger than you expected. It might be smaller than you expect, but I like to be prepared, meaning that I'm probably going to bring way more than I need. And I am perfectly okay with that. So I'm going to put this in here. Again, I can't pack my light stands in here because it's too long for my duffel bag. And I'll close that up. And here's my light stand bag. That's it right there. Okay. It holds 3 light stands. All right. Then I'll place this to the side because those are pretty much all good to go. That one's still waiting for the gimbal to be done charging. So I'll leave this here for now. I can actually take this remote with me. I'm probably still going to stop by to get some more batteries. So I'll put this right here. Then I'll drop that here. Now, if I decide to, I might end up putting my S bracket into my laptop bag just to have that there. And then I'll put my laptop in it. Okay. Again, I mentioned, of course, I will have my camera, my remote control light, and that's really most of the part. Really, all I would need. I don't really need a whole lot when I'm doing a content day. It's gonna be just filming, and it has to have my camera with my batteries charged. Everything else is basically what I would need personally. So that'd be maybe headphones, obviously wallet type stuff, SD cards, which I do have, and make sure I have enough of them. Okay. And here's my laptop. I have Dell as of right now. And then, of course, here is, this might be too bright. Here is my SD card. I'm going to take that out. But here is the SD card reader because it actually has many capabilities on both sides. Okay, so this is really good. It has a USB 3.0. And this is also another USB 3.0. If you see anything blue where a USB port is, that's a 3.0. And if it's black, it's 2.0. And of course, you got my SD card, my, what is that, SW card. I don't know. I've never used that. Micro SD card is also very common. So that's something else you can use. But it can connect to a C port. So if you decide you want to grab one of these, you have a C port on your laptop, this would be a good option for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in here. Drop that off. Did I grab my mouse? No, I did not. I love a good wireless mouse. So that's what this is. Put that there. And of course, put this SD card with my camera. So I know that's where that's at all times. All right. So there wasn't one in here, so I'll put that one in there now. Okay. So keep in mind, probably the laptop bag is also not going to be in this duffel bag because that's going to be a lot. So move that over. Oh, I still got to put my charger. And we're about to wrap it up. But overall, this is what I normally have when it comes to preparing for my showcases. Okay. Just from what you guys can see that I've done already. If I move this over. Okay. From what you guys can see already, of course, you got one soft box. Got a laptop bag right here. Then got my light stands. Okay. That fell over. It's gonna be fine. Got my gimbal bag. Okay. That gimbal is currently on charge. As soon as it's done in the morning, I'm gonna put that over here. Got my duffel bag, which has my floodlights, my extension cords, another soft box. It will have my camera case, my camera bag in there, as well as this extra light source. For the most part, that's it. For the most part, that is it. So if there is anything that you guys may have a question about how I set up my things, how I get prepared, what to buy, where to buy it at, what to look for, please let me know in the comments. I am going to absolutely do my best to make sure that I can give you guys the most helpful information as possible because I don't know, I just love it. So if I love it, I'm like, let me go ahead and share it. That's how I feel about it. So if there is anything you guys want to take from it, please do so. Try it out for yourselves. Posters are popping up everywhere. So you want to make sure that you are absolutely prepared to help them capture the best visuals for them. Meaning that performers are going to have visuals that they can use. The studio is going to have great visuals that they also can use because when it comes to content creation, that's also a thing. It's very, very important. And on that note, I also want to make sure that I am also emphasizing that if you are also a studio owner or a pole dancer who's having issues when it comes to content being flagged repeatedly on social media, then please tap into my upcoming series that I'm about to create. And it's going to be about how you can own your own platform while still doing what you do and bringing people to you from these platforms alone. So that way you can always have connection with your audience. All right. So that is the goal with that. So I thank you guys so much for tuning in. Um, I am definitely here to help. I will be here again next Thursday, and I will catch you guys again then. All right. You guys have a great night and a great weekend, and I will see you later.